Shivasade Gaurava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 9. We are beginning Chapter 9 today. And how do I do this? Just trying to fit the screen. Is the font all right, or is it too big or too small?
The font is okay. I mean, if it could be a bit bigger, would be better.
Bigger. Okay, let's.
Still big. Can it be bigger? Still, yeah.
Is that better? That's the biggest that it can go to now.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we are beginning Chapter 9. Dhruv Maharaj returns home. Maitreya Vacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Taevam Utsana Bhaya Urukrame.
Ta evam utsana bhaya urukrame.
Kritavanama Prayayustriveshtapam.
Kritavanama prayayus trivishtapam.
Sahasra Shishapi Tato Garutmata.
Sahasra Shishapi Tato Garutmataha.
Madhurvanam Pritya Didrikshaya Gataha.
Madhurvanam Britya Didrikshaya Gataha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya told Vidur, when the demigods were thus reassured by the personality of Godhead, they were freed from all fears, and after offering their obeisances, they returned to their heavenly planets. Then the Lord, who is non-different from Sahasra Shirsha incarnation, got on the back of Garuda, who carried him to the Madhuvan forest to see his servant Dhruva. The word Sahasra Shirsha refers to the personality of Godhead known as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Although the Lord appeared as Shirodakshai Vishnu, he has been described here as Sarsha Shirsha Vishnu because he is non-different from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So you know the Purusha avatar, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Shirodakshai Vishnu, they are non-different. It's the same Mahavishnu who expands as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who expands as Shirodakshai Vishnu. So here, that's the reason. It is Shirodakshai Vishnu, but he's being called as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. But there's no contradiction because he's the same personality. According to Srila Rupa Goswami in his Lagu Bhagavatamrita, the Saharsha Shirsha personality of Godhead who appeared at that time was the incarnation known as Prishni-garbha. He created the planet known as Dhruvlok for the habitation of Dhruva Maharaj. So this incarnation which appeared to Dhruva Maharaj is called Prishni-garbha. Prishni-garbha, and he is going to create the Dhruva Loka, or the pole star. Savaidya Yoga Vipakativraya.
Sarvedya Yoga Vipakati Vidaya.
Hrit Padma Kosheshwari Tadit Prabham.
Hrit Padma Koshe Spuritam Tadit Prabham.
Tirohitam Saha Savopalakshya.
Tirohitam Sahasai Upalaksha.
Bahi Stitam Tad Avastham Dadarsha.
Bahi Stitam Tadavastam Tadarsha.
The form of the Lord, which was brilliant like lightning, and in which Dhruv Maharaj, in his mature yogic process, was fully absorbed in meditation, all of a sudden disappeared. Thus, Dhruva was perturbed and his meditation broke. But as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally present, just he had been seeing the Lord in his heart. So it's the same Lord that Dhruva Maharaj was seeing in his heart. Suddenly he couldn't see him anymore, so he got up from his meditation, from his samadhi. And what? The same Lord was standing in front of him. Because of his mature position in yogic meditation, Dhruva Maharaj was constantly observing the form of the personality of Godhead within his heart. But all of a sudden, when the Supreme Personality disappeared from his heart, he thought he had lost it. Dhruva Maharaj was perturbed, but upon opening his eyes and breaking his meditation, he saw the same form of the Lord before him. In the Brahma Samhita 538, it is said, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. A saintly person who has developed love of Godhead by devotional service always sees the Lord's transcendental form of Shyam Sundar. So the devotee who has already developed love for Krishna, he's already revived his love for Krishna. He's always seeing Krishna everywhere. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Valochanena. He can see Krishna everywhere. Just the example Prabhupada would give. The mother loves the son. So whenever she sees something belonging to the son, she immediately remembers the son. Oh, this is my son's shoes. She's not just seeing a shoe, but she remembers the son. Oh, this is my son's bag. So similarly, devotee knows everything belongs to Krishna. So wherever he looks, he's just reminded of Krishna. Oh, this belongs to Krishna, that belongs to Krishna. The Shyamsundar form of the Lord within the heart of a devotee is not imaginary. When a devotee becomes mature in his prosecution of devotional service, he sees face to face the same Shyamsundar he has thought of during the entire course of his devotional service. So now the mature devotee, he can actually see the Lord in his heart. As Dhruva Maharaj was seeing in the form of Prishnigarbha, Krishna's devotee, he sees Krishna face to face in his heart. And also face to face, he can see. Now, Dhruva Maharaj is having a personal meeting with, with the Lord. So, a devotee also, a pure devotee, he also gets his personal meeting with the Lord. Since the Supreme Lord is absolute, the form within the heart of a devotee, the form in the temple, and the original form in Vaikuntha, Vrindavan Dham are all the same. They are non-different from one another. So we have to understand Krishna, he's on the absolute platform. So his forms, it could be a deity form, it's his form in the heart, it's his form in Vrindavan, or it's his form in Vaikuntha, is the same. It's non-different. For us, we are so used to thinking in material terms, all our experiences are so material, we are not able to understand what absolute means. But this is absolute, that any of his form is the same form. It's this, yeah, there's no difference. Taddarshanena gatasva sadavashah shita.
Taddarshanena gatasada vasashita
Avandatangam vinamaya dandavat.
avandatangam vinamaya dandavat
Rigbhyam prapashyan prapiban ivar bhakas.
drikpiyam prapashyan prapiban ivadvakas
Chumban chumban iva shyena bhujer iva shlishan.
chumban ivasyena bhuje ivash lisan.
And Dhruv Maharaj saw his Lord just in front of him. He was greatly agitated and offered him obeisances and respect. He fell flat before him like a rod and became absorbed in love of Godhead. Dhruv Maharaj, in ecstasy, looked upon the Lord as if he were drinking the Lord with his eyes, kissing the lotus feet of the Lord with his mouth, and embracing the Lord with his arms. So Dhruva Maharaj, all this time he was seeing the Lord in samadhi, in his heart. Now he's seeing him face to face. So he's like flustered, doesn't know what to do. And then, of course, he's offering him obeisances. He's just a small boy. And he's got in love of God, and he's absorbed in love, and he's ecstatic. And the way he's looking at the Lord, he wants to, as if he's drinking the beauty of the Lord, kissing the lotus feet of the Lord with his mouth and embracing the Lord with his arms. Naturally, when Dhruv Maharaj personally saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he was very much agitated in awe and respect, and it appeared as if he were drinking the entire body of the Lord with his eyes. So here also we can see Dhruv Maharaj became as heavy as the Brahman. He got Brahman realization. He got Paramatma realization. Now he's seeing the Lord face to face, but he doesn't become God. So it's not that after liberation we are going to become God. No, God will always remain God. We, the individual soul, will always remain individual. Here Dhruva Maharaj has achieved perfection. He's got in love of God. He's liberated and now he's got in love of God. And they're separate personalities. So there is a reciprocation. He has so much love. He's wants to embrace the Lord with his arms. He's kissing his feet uh, with his mouth. He's drinking the beauty of his drinking the beauty of the Lord with his eyes. So the devotee's love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so intense that he wants to kiss the lotus feet of the Lord constantly. And he wants to touch the tips of the toes of the Lord and constantly embrace his lotus feet. So, when we love someone, we want to be with that person. You see how the mother, she loves the baby so much. She just goes on kissing and kissing the baby. Here, the Dhruva Maharaj, he's achieved love for Krishna. And and all his senses are running towards Krishna. All his senses want to engage in the service of Krishna. Embrace
So
the
this is
Lord, kiss the
unconditional
Lord.
love. Huh? So it's
Unconditional. Yeah.
unconditional love. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Which we don't even have any experience of it. On the material platform, we don't have this experience. But this is love actually. It's on the spiritual platform. And we are seeing how the senses are just running. They're running in the service of the Lord. His eyes, he can't stop drinking the beauty of the Lord. He can't stop wanting to embrace the Lord, to kiss the lotus feet of the Lord. All these features of
But
Dhruv Maharaj's bodily. I'm sorry?
yeah. No, sorry. So it's not in the Sham Sundar form, right? He sees him,
Th-
sees the Lord.
No, this
Is
is
the form, na?
this
Okay.
is Prishni
The
Garbha,
Garbha
four-handed. Yeah,
Four-handed. Okay.
four-handed Vishnu form.
Narayan.
Yeah, it's a
Narayan form.
Narayan.
Oh, it's a
Yes,
bit, yeah. Mm,
yeah. He's four-armed form.
mm.
So So then all these features of Dhruv Maharaj's bodily expression indicate that upon seeing the Lord face to face, he developed the 8 kinds of transcendental ecstasy in his body. There are 8 ecstatic symptoms. They're more described in Caitaniya Caritamita, how the devotees, how Lord Chaitanya also exhibited this sattvika bhav, and not to be imitated. When we actually revive our love for Krishna, we will experience them. But that's not the idea. That's not the goal. Because many people try to imitate this kind of ecstasy. We don't need to do it. What we need to do is try to revive our love for Krishna. Satam vivakshan tamatad vidam harir.
Satam vivaksha santam atatvidam hari.
Yatvasya sarvasya charidi avastitaha.
Yatvasya
अस्य
sarvasya
सर्वस्य च
chariti
हृदि
avastitaha.
अवस्थितः
Kritanjalim brahma mayena kambana.
Kritanjalim
कृतञ्जलिं ब्रह्ममयेन
kam
कम्बुना
Pasparshabalam kripaya kapole.
कम्बून
pasparsha balam
पशुबालं
kripaya
कृपया
kapoli.
कपोले.
Although Dhruv Maharaj was a small boy, he wanted to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in suitable language. But because he was inexperienced, he could not adjust himself immediately. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, could understand Dhruv Maharaj's awkward position. Out of his causeless mercy, he touched his conch shell to the forehead of Dhruv Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. So Dhruv Maharaj, 5-year-old boy, seeing the Lord face to face, of course, he does not, he wants to offer suitable prayers, but he does not know how to. And so Krishna is also, he's the Paramatma in our heart, no? So then he understands what Dhruva Maharaj, that he wants to offer prayers, but he's not able to. So he's holding a conch shell. He touches the conch shell to Dhruv Maharaj's head. And then Dhruv Maharaj now will speak beautiful prayers. Every devotee wants to chant the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Devotees are always interested in hearing about the Lord's transcendental qualities, and they are always eager to glorify these qualities. But sometimes they feel inconvenienced by humbleness. So Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that his pure devotees are always constantly hearing and chanting, Satatam Kirtayantamam, always chanting his glories, hearing about his glories. That is what a pure devotee does, always hearing and chanting. The personality of Godhead, being situated in everyone's heart, specifically gives a devotee intelligence to describe him. So Krishna says, I'm the intelligence of the intelligent. Krishna says, all intelligence comes from me. Krishna also says that to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the intelligence by which they can come to me. So this intelligence is given by Krishna based on our desire. Based on our desire. Here the devotees desire that they want to please Krishna, they want to glorify Krishna, then Krishna gives the intelligence. It is therefore understood that when a devotee writes or speaks about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his words are dictated by the Lord from within. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter to those who constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord from within dictates what to do next in order to serve him. So Krishna gives the intelligence to the devotee. Baladev Vidyabhushan, he was asked to write the commentary in 3 days. And he was like, how am I going to write the commentary on Vedanta Sutra in 3 days? This was in Jaipur. There was a controversy happening there. Otherwise, they were going to remove the worship of Srimati Radharani with Lord Krishna, of Govindaji, Radha Govinda. So what to do? He went to Govindaji, and Govindaji told him, don't worry, you just write. I will speak. And that's why his commentary is called Govinda Bhashya. It's called Govinda Bhashya. And then he presented the commentary and everyone was happy. Srila Prabhupada, whenever Srila Prabhupada in the evenings, he would ask the devotees to read him the Krishna book. Specifically in LA, this used to happen. Then they would, and Prabhupada would hear it with great enthusiasm. Then the devotees would wonder, or Prabhupada would keep reading his own books, Then they would say, but Prabhupada, you have written the book. Prabhupada would say, I've not written. It's Krishna who dictates these things. So here, we can see that Krishna is the one who gives intelligence to the pure devotee. Krishna speaks to the pure devotee. No one can just write about Krishna if he is not specifically empowered by Krishna. No, because we are on the material platform, right? How can we approach the transcendental? Only when the Krishna himself reveals, then we can write it. So when Dhruv Maharaj felt hesitant, not knowing how to describe the Lord for want of sufficient experience, the Lord, out of his causeless mercy, touched his conch shell to Dhruva's forehead, and he was transcendently inspired. This transcendental inspiration is called Brahmamaya, because when one is thus inspired, the sound he produces exactly corresponds to the sound vibration of the Vedas. This is not the ordinary sound vibration of this material world. Therefore, the sound vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, although presented in the ordinary alphabet, should not be taken as mundane or material. The words, this Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are reading, this is transcendental sound. It's not ordinary material sound. It's transcendental sound, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. The Harinam has come directly from Golok Vrindavan. This is not ordinary, that we speak of some mundane matters. These are transcendental sounds. Is that okay?
Yes.
So let's stop here for today. If there are no other comments or questions.
So here they're
Srimad
telling about the Hare
Bhagavatam.
Krishna mantra, the chanting of Hare Krishna, that is divine, right? That a sound is.
It's coming from Goloka.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's Radha and Krishna. It's not different than Krishna, the Hare Krishna mantra. It's not different than Krishna. We are not able to understand it because of our offenses, because of all the dirt. We are not able to see properly outside the window if the window is dirty. If we clean the window, we can see very clearly. So right now, our consciousness is all covered with all this dirt, material contamination. So we are not able to understand it. But the more it gets cleaned, the more we will be able to understand. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for listening and joining in.